What's going on, everybody? This is Afro Think Tank. There are no black people on the west coast of America. There are no black people. That's what this black man has said in this video that I'm going to show you in a little bit. And it brings up something that I've thought about for quite a while, is that there really is not any black people in California and Maine, and not Maine, but Maine, but California, Washington State, and all the black people that you see there, right, on TV, all they do is represent, for the most part, gangster culture. So the only thing you see on TV about West Coast Africans, and there's small communities there, right? Little communities of black people that you see, you talk about Compton and LA and all that stuff. And I see a lot of YouTubers, a lot of black people, and it just seems like the only thing they do is participate in gang culture. That's all it seems like. The small little enclaves of black people in the West Coast, they got this gang thing that they do, right? And it seems to be their only identifier. Outside of that, you really don't see too much about black people in the West Coast, and they're dominated by the Latino community because, all of California and of course Texas and all that used to be Mexico, right? So of course the dominant population would be the native population of that area, which are Mexicans. You got a large Filipino population there. You got a large, you got more, what do you call them? More Samoans on the west coast of America than there are in Samoa, right? More Hawaiians in West Coast than there are in Hawaii, right? But when it comes to a black population, they're minuscule. They don't even count, because most black people live 100 miles from where their ancestors were enslaved. Most black people live only 100 miles in any direction from where their ancestors were enslaved. We live in the South, in the eastern portion of America. That's where we reside. The black community in America is in basically one position. Everybody else are just dotted little dotted areas throughout America. But the black body of America, the African American, where the culture comes from, where all the trends come from, where everything that makes America entertaining, fun, everything that gives it soul comes from the black folks on the East Coast, right? From Florida all the way up to New York. That whole area, and just so happens those are the metropolitan areas that bring in all the money, right? Because we still are the ones bringing in the money to America. African Americans are still the ones who produces all this money for America. Still, right? Capitalism is just perfected slavery. Remember that. Capitalism is just perfected slavery. They've perfected it, right? That's all it is done. But yeah, I'm gonna let this black guy tell it, man. He's like, because even the West Coast African, they're weird, man. To me, as the East Coast, I've been to West Coast. I've been there, throughout my military career. They're weird. They're different. They're not like us over here. Like they are different. And I think it's due to their environment, due to who dominates them over there, how they're dominated in the West Coast compared to over here, where we dominate where we are, right? But you can't, if you're black in the West Coast, you can't dominate nothing. You can rah-rah, but you can't even do that too much, right? So yeah, I always knew it was something different about those West Coast African Americans. All of them need to just come on over to the South, come over to the East Coast, and get with the black community and just forget about that shit over there. That's just my personal opinion. But anyway, y'all tell me what y'all think in the comment section. Afro Think Tank, learn something, teach something. I'm out.
There are no black people in the West Coast of America. And while, yes, there are obviously and technically black people, what I mean is that the majority of black Americans in America still live in the South and in the mid-Atlantic Northeast. There's a map floating around that people are really confused about the black populations by county, and it's showing a concentration of black people in the South and in the Northeast. And as someone who's from New York and I moved to LA, one of the biggest cultural shocks I had moving here was the lack of black people. Based on Hollywood, based on TV, based on me seeing things like Boys in the Hood and all these shows growing up as a black person, I thought the black population in California was just like New York, and it's not. And when you look at it, I think the black population in California is something like 4% or something like that. It's very, very, very small. And then California is where the most black people are in all of the West Coast. I've spent summers in Portland, Oregon. I've spent a lot of time in Seattle. I've been to Utah a couple of times. I've been to Arizona a bunch. And in all these places, man, there's just not Black people. Growing up in the East, I think we take for granted being around so many Black people. And even if you grow up in like a middle-class neighborhood like I did, your neighbors are everything. Like, I never associated wealth, education, and success with whiteness, because like where I grew up, everybody had a house. So obviously there's still segregation and disenfranchisement and oppression amongst Black people everywhere. There's more opportunity for Black people to thrive in a place where there's more of us, if that makes sense. Like, I would never expect Black people in like Wyoming or Iowa. Like, I'm not crazy, but I was expecting there to be so many more Black people in California than there are. First moved here, Issa Rae started the Insecure Black Party, and I never forget, it was 2018, and every conversation that we had at the stadium was, yo, where do you live? Where do you be hanging out? Because I don't see Black people. Where do you live? Where you hanging out? Because I don't see Black people. Unless you live in South LA and you live in an all Black neighborhood, you don't really see Black people unless you go to an event or you're going to a party. And I had to learn that very quickly. It was weird, like leaving a place like New York and seeing Black people every day, no matter where you are, to like me going weeks without seeing Black people because I lived in a certain part of the city. But yeah, this map is very interesting, but there's no Black people over here like there is back home. Just migration patterns, right? All the slavery was done in the South in America. All the ports were in the East of America. That's where America was first settled at. So to come over here was very, 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 very far. Same reason why there's no Caribbean people over here, because it's very, very, very far.
Free Sudan! Boycott diamonds and gold! Free Sudan! Boycott diamonds and gold! We most definitely cannot forget about the people of Sudan.
Wait. Before you go, for all my subscribers and philanthropists out there, I'm building a solar power community water bowl system in Nigeria. It's going to cost between $5,000 and $6,000. I'm trying to raise money. If you want to participate and help me build this solar power water system, please donate to the Cash App and put solar water in the notes. Solar water in the notes. I'll put PayPal, Stripe, and Zelle. Anyway, thank you. That's all I got to say. It's Afro Think Tank. Learn something, teach something. I'm out. Thanks for watching Afro Think Tank. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And follow me on Substack and Patreon for more content. Remember, it's Pan-Africanism or nothing.